New at 6 o'clock. Right now, parents are responsible for keeping their kids away from material they consider potentially obscene at the library or in schools.
Under a new bill proposed in Idaho, that responsibility could soon be placed on libraries and schools. Our Emily Bloom explains the changes this bill would create.
House Bill 139, the Children's School and Library Protection Act, would make it possible for parents or legal guardians to sue either libraries or schools if their children get access to material that is deemed either obscene or harmful.
Right now, public libraries in Idaho, you have access to the entire collection when you get a library card, and it is the parents' responsibility to limit access to material for their children.
This law would open schools and libraries to civil lawsuits. The penalty would be $10,000 in statutory damages each time the material is accessed.
Not how we should be spending our money as a public entity.
Community Library Network at Post Falls says it already has reconsideration policies in place.
It is not our business to decide what is harmful, and each family has their own values and their own choices that they live by.
Meanwhile, the Idaho Family Policy Center president says this is common sense.
Most parents reasonably expect when they send their kid to a school or library that their child will not encounter pornography.
As for how material is deemed harmful, he says there are already parameters in place.
The U.S. Supreme Court has promulgated the Miller test, which allows schools and libraries to determine what material is obscene and should not be made available to children.
He says 19 communities in Idaho have obscene material accessible to kids right now.
Ultimately, the law does not give explicit direction to the schools or libraries. It's simply up to them to choose what is reasonable for them.
The bill was accepted by the Idaho Affairs Committee, and the next step will be a hearing in the Education Committee. If this bill is passed, it'll become effective July 1st of this year. Reporting in Post Falls, Emily Bloom, 4 News Now.